Witches. It's Luna here on another in a seemingly endless string of very gray days, which are my favorite kind of day, but when there's no variety, it's a pain in the ass. So I'm coming to you. You're lucky that I dried my hair. I got my starry robe on because it's comfy and warm and cushy. And I'm here for another unboxing. I'm really excited about getting to this deck because it's a very cool deck. This is called the Transformational Tarot by Arnell, Ando. And got that image. Let's see, on this side it says Transformational Tarot presents in collage form a diverse collection of mythological images, cultural artifacts, and psychological archetypes to be used as a multi-layered map of spiritual transformation. And I'm just now remembering to make sure my microphone is functional. We're just post New Year's. And I'm not quite up to speed yet. There's another image on the back. We got the barcode. You got the U.S. game systems. We don't have a copyright there. Put you over here. And yes, I'm going on a bare bones desktop because I don't feel like completely resetting the thing right now. Okay, let's take a look. 2005 is the copyright here. Arnell Ando is a Jungian-based certified expressive arts therapist. In addition to Transformational Tarot, she created... I just realized this is a woman, Arnell Ando. For some reason, I read that name and thought man. And I think it's the Ando that did it, even though it's Andro, that means man. Something in my subconscious went, this is a dude. Okay, whatever, that's awesome. In addition to Transformational Tarot, she created Hero's Journey as well as the artwork for Storyteller Tarot. Arnell has combined her studies in the spiritual and psychological realms to create her unique interpretation of the Tarot. Okay, so let's go to the images. Here are the backs. Oops. Just kind of a geometric, fuzzy geometric. And we have a face card, Transformational Tarot, published by U.S. Game Systems, and that's where it says 2005, printed in Italy. Transformational Tarot, Arnell Ando, an expressive arts therapist and certified Tarot Grandmaster. Where do you get that certification? Uses the medium of collage to express her vision of a complex, multi-layered existence. Her compelling cards convey her deep personal connection to the esoteric art of tarot. Integrating abstract dream imagery with archetypal symbolism, Transformational Tarot draws upon a diverse collection of cultural images to present a universal mythology for our time. Okay, let me adjust because I got big fuzzy sleeves and they're getting in the way, but I still want something around my shoulders. Okay. So we start. Here's the Fool, which is called the Dreamer in this deck. And look at the imagery. We have a toddler. That's way younger than a youth. Look at that belly. That's a baby. That's a baby just getting walking. But it looks like a halo around the head. And we have a bird woman. Is that a harpy? And I'm trying to get what the orb is. I see reflections of things in the orb, but I can't really tell what they are. So this angelic baby getting ready to walk off a cliff. And then we have the Magus with his shades. Very saucy. So we don't have, we do have very strong allusions to the standard Waite Smith deck. Certainly the magician has all of the elements in front of him. Then we have the sorceress rather than the high priestess. And she's got cards falling and looking into a crystal ball, the crescent moon on her head. Trying to see what's on the books in the background. Oh, art, magic, music, and then letters, what I cannot read. The Empress. So we definitely have the focus on the female form. And we've got lilies. The Emperor, more lilies, and here we have the male form. The Sage is the Hierophant. Hard to see. These look like some kind of tribal sculptures here, is what that looks like to me, if I can get it to pop in. Come on, dude. There we go. See? And then the woods, you know, there's not an actual person of the Hierophant, but there's the woods, and then there's the supplicants. Very interesting idea of nature as sacred. Here we have the Lovers, and we've got several images. We've got something taken from Venus on the half shell, and she's got like a skirt and pumps and stockings and sunglasses. And then we have several different couples throughout there. The Challenge. So rather than the Chariot, we have the Challenge and somebody skateboarding downstairs. Fascinating. Justice. So Justice is 8 and Strength is 12 or 11 or whatever it is. I can never remember. Okay. Kind of a Statue of Liberty feel there, but again, taken from Venus on the half shell. Introspection. So introspection is the Hermit. Then we have Karma as the Wheel of Fortune. What's that? Like somebody swinging from the wheel. So you can tell just right off the rip here, these are cards that would, you know, be a fun evening to spend just really looking at all the images in it. And then we have the Strength card, and it's a woman and a dragon and a butterfly and flowers, irises. The butterfly kind of talking about delicacy. Then we've got Reflection. So here is the Hanged Man. Reverse. Look at this. It says polarized view. Saint, polarized view, reverse. And then on the other side, it says Witch and Malleus Maleficarum, the hammer of the witches. We got Jesus and stuff up here, and we've got snake down on the bottom. Very interesting. Death. Alchemy is temperance. And that's a beautiful word for temperance because it's all about integration, the blending of. The Devil. So you've got a woman and a man. Like I said, they're collages, so there's all kinds of things to be interested in. She's got a web going on around her. We certainly see some suffering people. The Tower. Kali. The Star with a big fat spider and a big fat web. The Moon. So again, you know, we have allusions in varying degrees to the standard Waite-Smith. Moon, Sun. So we've got a very strong feminine, masculine vibe to those particular cards. Attaining spiritual and perceptual freedom is what it says. And liberation. This is the Judgment card. It's called Liberation instead. Then we have the World. The woman with the Ankh. And we see the world, and we see a dove, and we see shooting stars. All right. All right, get closer. That's better. Into the Wands. Ace of Wands. The Two. No. Good God. So here we really depart from Waite-Smith. We've got the Ace of Wands, and we've got, just looks like a single candle flame and two people looking up at it. So we don't really have that, you know, single wand. Two of Wands, this has no allusion whatsoever to the standard. Somebody looking very pensive. We don't even see the wands. 3. Again, she's looking kind of really internal. The 4. And here we see 3 women. I mean, 4 of Wands here almost looks like a 3 of Cups. I'll be very interested when we get into the suits. 5 of Wands. Romance, is that too much to ask for, is what it says up here. And we've got, I don't know, is this a sexual struggle? Is this a not sexual struggle? It's hard to tell. 6 of Wands. The Victory card. She looks like she's kind of riding on something very different. Okay, so the suits are really different from the standard. There's the 7. The 8. And the 8 that usually shows wands flying through the air. But again, we've got someone just kind of looking very pensive, studious. There's books and things around her, a calendar that says progress, planning progress. Okay, so there's a hint. 9 of Wands. Being kind of walled in, so you can see that kind of territorial. 10 of Wands with this big jug on her head, so we get the oppression part there, obviously. Then we have for the courts the Princess, the Prince, the Queen, and the King. And you can definitely see as I've gone through that she's taken images from classical artwork. Here's the Ace of Swords. Again, we've got like Hermes Mercury with the wings on his helmet, but we don't have an actual sword. 2 of Swords. No blindfold. Spiders showing up again and again. The 3 of Swords. She's being held by something with the skull face. Now there's a sword in the background that looks like it has stabbed. Is that a person, an animal, a stone? I think it's a person lying face down. The 4 of Swords. No, we definitely have the resting aspect. 5. Victory, defeat. Well, she's standing there with chains on her hands, so that definitely has the vibe of defeat. 6. Moving away, moving forward. The idea of maybe taking your family, going somewhere. There's a rainbow in the background. 7. This is the Thief card. So there's a couple that looks like they might be involved, and then there's someone looking grieving at the bottom, so I guess that we could interpret that as a thief. 8 of Swords. Again, no blindfold. There's a scarf like going across her eyes. The 9. You can definitely see fear in her face. She's looking over her shoulder. This dude has a sword. Oh, he's going to stab someone. So now in the 9, we get a blindfold. Wow. And then the 10. And we've got like a Ku Klux Klan kind of hooded person there. And many different types of blades or swords. Here's the Princess, the Prince, the Queen, and the King. And even though the images are all very different, you know, pulling from different resources and such, there is a cohesive look to this deck. It's not like, you know, all over the map, or these images don't look like they belong together. There's the Ace of Cups. The 2. That's rather different. You can definitely see relationship to the 3. Looking very smitten and loving towards each other. The 4. 5. Look at her just kind of curled up so small on that great big chair. Definitely you can get that idea of being withdrawn into yourself. There's the 6, talking about childhood and memories and stuff. So we have children. That definitely harks back. 7. So we have these Asian art images. And kind of a meditative pose with lots of hands holding different things. So that's where we get that idea of all the different cups with different things in them. Here's the 8 of Cups. Yeeting away from some emotional thing. There's the 9. Does that look like a wish card? Not really. And the 10. So how do we depict happiness? Okay, there's the family. Princess. Prince. Queen. And king, looking very different. Wow, look at all the horses. All right, and then on to pentacles. Coins, the Ace of Coins, the 2. I guess you get that idea of kind of juggling things. Look at this person in the shadow, and we have an orb, and then the yin-yang. 3 of Coins. I'm very interested to get in because considering she's a Jungian art therapist, you know that the imagery here all has meaning attached to it. 4 of Coins. The 5 of Coins. I have to look this way so I can see it better. It says, and darkness falls at the bottom. 6, Japanese art. She got her baby. Talking about physical care and charity. The 7 of Coins. Look at the window frames that are in a lot of these. The 8. More webbing. There's a lot of webs, and she's weaving. She's spinning. Very interesting. 8 of Coins. Yes, spinning practice. Apprenticeship. I get that. 9. And of having your own abundance. And there's the 10, the stable family card. And then we have the princess, the prince, the queen, and the king. So, you know, each card is really individual unto itself. You don't see, you know, that King of Coins was very different than the King of Cups. You know, so you don't have consistency as far as, all right, you know, the kings show a man up close. You know, there's a man there, and there's seemingly a god up there commanding those horses. That's Neptune. Look at the trident. And then this is the King of Coins. Very different. With scales. Okay. Let's give this a shuffle or two and go to the book. Being, you know what I'm going to say, see the width there of the deck as far as U.S. games? I know this is going to shuffle well. And it does. They're kind of sticky. They're hard to push back together again because they're sort of sticking to each other. I haven't looked at this deck in a long, long time. I bought it way back when, like 10 years ago. And I know that, oops, okay, no more. Let's do this thing before my charcoal runs out, shall we? And let's ask our guides and guardians, ancestors and allies to come on in. Come on in and speak through this deck, so let it show itself to best advantage. And give us a reading that is useful, practical, insightful for all of my viewers. We offer you light and pure water and salt water, fire of Azrael, and we offer you blessings of all elements, air, fire, water, earth, and spirit as I burp. All right. Let's see. Okay, then we have useful notes on the tarot. There's personal acknowledgments, the major arcana. All right. The following section describes the characteristics and interpretations of each card, beginning with the major arcana. All the imagery in these cards has symbolic and personal meaning to me, and it will be interesting to find what they may represent to you. I trust this deck, made with heart and soul, will be a true friend and reliable confidant to you. Warmest wishes, Arnell, Ando. Let me see if there's anything else. She talks about the suits. Okay. The major, our day-to-day existence consists of relationships, skills, work. All right, that's in the minor. So she just gives a basic overview of the tarot, that the majors relate to spiritual or psychological states of consciousness, and then the minors are the day-to-days. So let's just take a look at like the Fool card and what she says about it. A child, the picture of innocence, walks fearlessly through a forest, chasing an iridescent bubble oblivious to any danger. A mother owl circles above the scene. Okay, so the baby's chasing after that orb that we saw, and that was a mother owl with a human woman's head. And the meanings are adventure, journey, unexpected influences and opportunities, an important choice, fool's luck finds fortune in misfortune. Fool's luck, I like that, kind of beginner's luck. Take the plunge into the unknown, breaking loose with no boundaries or limitations. Freedom! Exclamation point. And this is very interesting because that whole fool's luck thing, I just got a chunk of information that flew in from that what beginner's luck is just a reward for taking a risk, for taking a chance on something. And when you're just starting something, you don't have this predetermined idea that I should already know what I'm doing. So you just come in with beginner's mind to try, you know, with a sincere effort. And that's what brings beginner's luck. All right. So let's look at what she says, if there's any preface to the minors. Nope, it just says wands are fire, strong will, and creativity. Cups. Oh, I have them out of order. Cups are water, emotions, relationships, and healing. The swords. It's so hard to turn pages in these little tiny books. Swords are air, thought, challenge, and courage. And then coins, earth, nature, security, material interests. All right. I'm going to try to shuffle one more time, riffle style. That's better. And then let's ask this deck, please, to bring me a message for my viewers. Think about what's uppermost on everybody's mind that's watching this right now. We're stepping outside of time, the flow of time, and asking for spirit to come through and speak through these and untie the tongue of the reader and untether my thoughts to any kind of doubt. Here comes one. Oh, there's two there. And that stops the shuffling. So let's see what we got with these two. 7 and 6. All right, those are both together, but what the hell? It means not as effective a shuffle. And when I start with a deck on my own and it's a new one, I will riffle shuffle it 7 times. That is said to be the number of times of riffle shuffling a deck that will give you the most thorough mixing of the cards. All right, 7 of Wands. Knowledge, skill, challenge, it says in italics. So you get, for the minors, not the majors. The majors, you get the description, and then it goes into meanings and then reversed meanings. And I do want to read the reversed meaning for the Fool card because I spent a lot of time looking at that one. So if you have that image in your head, here's what it says for reverse. Depending upon the surrounding cards, it can mean you have attained a high level of awareness, but have become unbalanced or out of touch with physical reality. Fear may be holding you back from an opportunity. On the other hand, it may be warning of a faulty choice, indecision, or blind impulse. So it says depending upon the surrounding cards. So that's really nice to bring that in too, that the idea that, cards affect each other, not just, upright and reverse. It's not just on or off. It's, effects from the surrounding cards as well. All right. So knowledge skill challenge with the minors, she gives 3 italicized keywords, and then we go to a description, and then we go to meanings. A woman steps down from a union with the divine source of her inspiration. Let me see what it says here. Resume, talent, competition is what it says on that book. So she steps down from a union with the divine source of her inspiration. A hand extends a message to her, requesting her resume and foretelling of competition in her field and recognition of her artistic talent. Very interesting. And what was that one? Talent, competition, resume. Skill in teaching, lecturing, or writing, or other creative pursuits. Now let's think about what 7 of Wands looks like and means in the standard RWS Tarot. It shows 7 wands coming at someone who stands and holds another wand. So it can talk about success or standing your ground against the odds. It can talk about overwhelm of a lot of projects and things coming at you, and you need to hold your ground and, rise above, kind of thing. All right. Skill in teaching, lecturing, writing, or other creative pursuits. So thinking about wands as fire and creativity. Successful change in profession likely, but determination needed, for there will be stiff competition. So think of those wands coming at you. That can be like the stiff competition, which is not depicted here. So I think it does kind of benefit you if you know what the standard meanings are, but you can get the meanings that she's putting here from just this image. Overcoming obstacles and challenges, stay connected to your creative core. So she's stepping down. She's got a violin in her hands, and she's just been in union with her inspiration. And now she's coming down from that with her inspiration. They're saying there's going to be some challenges to you. Reversed is feelings of uncertainty and doubt in one's ability. Lacking confidence means being your own worst enemy. So, all right, this is talking about acknowledging your own skills and your own expertise, and kind of an alert that this could be challenged, or you might be competing with some people as far as expressing those talents go. Now, the 6 of Wands, victory, recognition, reward. Lady Godiva, the legendary goddess of the May Eve procession, carries a victory staff commemorating the 1916 suffrage movement parades. Aha. Okay, and the meaning is good news, recognition, promotion, or reward, success and achievement in career, creative, or civil pursuits. Victory will be forthcoming. Reversed is a delay of victory or rewards, or someone taking credit for another's work. Well, this is upright. So this is talking about we come forth with our talents. You decide you're going to express your talents, and you're challenged of people saying, what's your cred? What are your credentials? Prove it. And this is saying I'm as good as you, or I'm going to win over you. And, you bring these talents into a competitive type arena. And the card coming after that says, and you succeed, even though that's the card that comes before it in the deck. And then we have the Sorceress card as the High Priestess. So what are the skills and things we are being asked to bring forward? Those High Priestess skills, that inner knowing, the ability to be a reader, working with the cards. So you, dear viewer, are being asked to acknowledge your own skills with the cards. Do you just play with them? And are you collecting and collecting and looking and working at them and thinking, when I get enough, then I'll be good enough? What you need to know here is what makes you a good reader is doing readings. So whether you are at the stage of charging for them or not, and my viewer Anne, we just got off of a Patreon Zoom call with a reading very similar to this. So she's going to be giggling when she watches this. So it is talking about those psychic gifts of yours and that you can be successful with them, but you have to be aware that there are going to be some people coming at you and doubting. I want to see. One of these said something about doubting. What was it? Taking credit for no other. Okay, the reverse of the 7 said feelings of uncertainty and doubt. And I mean, you can certainly see that on her face. So here, even though it's not reversed, we are being called to put our faith in our own abilities and to move forward with faith in our own abilities, to ground ourselves in our inspiration and the abilities we know we have. And this is tough because this card talks about us being in the position of comparing our gifts with other people. That's what the competition is about here. Talent, competition. It's kind of like, it really sucks that there are such things as art competitions and dance competitions. Because when it comes to the creative expression of art, there's no competition. Each voice is unique and should be allowed to stand uniquely. When my kids were little, they took Irish dance. And my daughter, in particular, has a very natural talent for it. She's just a natural dancer. But what kind of shut her down is it was so incredibly competitive. The only thing the school was really about was competition. And by the time the dancers got to an age or a level of accomplishment where they were doing solo work, it's still prescribed dances, scripted dances, and you had to compete to outperform others doing the same dance. And so the focus was all about competition, and I'm so glad for Riverdance that it took Irish dance into, more of a creative expression and more of an art form than just a competitive arena. But when you are competing for someone, when someone's looking for a person that has your talents, whatever your talents are, and they're trying to decide between people, you are put into that competitive arena. What you need to stay away from is looking at, I have to be more like this person so I can beat them, or my gifts aren't good enough because they chose this person over me. That doesn't invalidate your skills and your talents. It just says, it's horses for courses. You are somebody's person and not somebody else's person. It's like, if I look at my viewers and my subscriptions, and it's like, oh, I know if I changed the way I do things and I changed my approach and made it, to me, more artificial, I need to open this way and da-da-da, and I'm going to be this person on camera, and I'm going to wear makeup, and I'm going to talk like this and do the presentation of that rather than just being who I am. I could probably go faster, but that's not what I'm interested in. I'm interested in my people, not all the people. And my people are going to be very particular because I'm not to everybody's liking and not to everybody's taste. So there you go. That's the message with that 7 of Wands, is putting your talents into a competitive arena is a very dicey, slippery slope. And you must stay grounded in your inspiration, in your source. That's where she's coming from, is the source of her inspiration. So you need to stay grounded in your inspiration and know that that is a true thing coming through. Do your expression and know that you're not going to be for everybody's taste, and then you win because, just being in your creative expression and letting that be true and letting it happen and following that inspiration is what takes you to victory, not necessarily winning the competition, but staying true to yourself. Then the sorceress says, sorceress slash high priestess she has here. Let me see if, okay, the mages, she doesn't do that with. I'm seeing if she does that with other cards that she has renamed. Yes, the sage slash hierophant, challenge slash chariot, karma slash wheel of fortune. So she does let you know what the original names are. Here, the image of a saint has been converted to her original form with a crescent moon for a halo. The gypsy setting, the Roma setting allows her to perform her spiritual and magical work at a grassroots level. So that's the crystal ball and the table. Let's call that the fortune teller setting, because it's not just Roma, the fortune teller, the cliche, stereotypical fortune teller setting allows her to perform her spiritual and magical work at a grassroots level. She is surrounded by her familiars, the raven, black cat, and snake. Meanings: a free-spirited woman initiated into the mysteries by her openness and dedication to self-study. This may lead her in many directions: magic, spirituality, philosophy, psychology, but the eventual outcome is the same. Intuitive and wise, she's a natural healer, though secretive and guarded. Hidden influences guide your path. Pay attention to dreams and synchronicities. It's almost like when she gets to the meanings that she's continuing the way she's been describing the image, It sounds like it's kind of a continuation of that description until you get to hidden influences guide your path, and then that feels more like a meaning to me. But this denotes someone who's free-spirited and into the mysteries and dedicated to self-study and the deeper mysteries. She may be a witch practicing magic. She may be just a spiritual person or a philosopher or a counselor. So that's what I'm getting from those. And talking about secrecy and guardedness and hidden influences. So reverse says, a lack of understanding and insight of this situation, the answer remains hidden and veiled in secrecy. So this way talks about secrets revealed. And again, those are the skill sets. That's the skill set we're talking about here. So ask yourself where you are in your interest for tarot and oracle decks. Where are you in your interest in magic and ritual and astrology and the other esoteric arts? And then ask yourself if it is time to bring those skills out. I mean, this might be just warning you that you're going to move into a competitive arena, but this says you're victorious. So stay true to yourself. Be grounded in your gifts and your inspiration. Listen to your true inner voice and reveal it. This is talking about revealing of things that are secrets. So the inspiration, your guides whispering in your ear, say what's occurring to you. Don't filter it when you're doing readings. This is how you'll know if you're actually a reader or not. It was if you do a reading and just unfiltered say what's popping into your head, and the other person is going to validate that for you or invalidate that for you. And if it's not valid, maybe you're not grounded. Maybe it's not the first thing that occurs to you. It's what your mind does with it afterwards, and that takes it off course. So these cards have a lot of information spilling out of them. They certainly do. And I'm finding it very, very interesting that it's kind of like a continuation of what came out in a reading just a little while ago. So theme, there's a theme, and that means it's a personal theme for me as well. Telling me to have faith in my gifts and have faith in my people, that you will show up. So I hope you got something out of that, my friends. And I would like you to look down below at the links and consider joining my Patreon. I am going to be scheduling 2 Zoom calls with my patrons on all levels every month. I had the first one today with my patrons. And get in while things are small, folks. And so even if you join at the $3 a month initiate level, you're going to get personal access to me until things get bigger, right? The goddess level gives you one-on-one access to me for a 20-minute reading a month. And believe me, I can get a lot of information into 20 minutes, particularly if you come with specific questions. The $9 a month priestess level gives you exclusive content, my Be Your Own Astrologer series and Astrological Foundations, which is going to give you the foundation you need to know what the hell you're looking at when you get that chart off the internet. All right? So jump on in, join Patreon. Send me a donation. If you don't feel like joining Patreon, you can do a one-off donation from one of the links below. I really appreciate that. This is my living. And if you want to get a reading from a deck and watch me review that deck, hit my Amazon wish list. It's getting bigger every day. I bought new decks with my relief money. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. So my collection will keep going a little while longer, but boy, I'm at the tail end. I only have, let me see. I only have, see, here's my list. You can't see that, can you? Here's my list, and it's 2 pages long. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 decks left before I'm at the end of my collection. And I have 3 more on their way. So it's not going to be long till I run out of decks, but I have new content coming. Astro Snacks is coming. And I will keep buying decks to keep this series going as well. And you will keep buying them for me too. I'm sure you will. I know you will because you're awesome. All right, you guys. I will see you on Wednesday for a live. And I will see you on Friday for an Oracle unboxing. And over the weekend for something or other. Whether it's a prayer circle or, you know, whatever. It'll probably be a prayer circle. I really want this month to dial in my offerings so you know what's coming and when. And then, you know, pray that my health can keep up with those things. All right. I like talking to you. I love that you're here for these unboxings, and I hope to see you again. Please stay safe. Please stay home. I haven't left my house in 10 whole days for anything. And I hope that you're staying home and that you are washing your hands and wearing a mask when you have to venture out. Stay safe, stay healthy in this new year. And I'll be seeing you again. Until then, this is the Zen Witch. Blessed be.